Okay. So we're on to Pauri 29 of Japji Sahib, and I have to refer back to Pauri 28 because the two are interlocked, as borrowing a phrase that Betu just used. They are connected, they're integrated. All of Japji is integrated. It steps from our birth to our ghar, or our ultimate destination. Okay, are you getting this? Sorry. Okay, is this on? Okay, so the 38 steps are the journey the soul makes to Sachkhand. That's where the journey ends, hopefully in some lifetime, and hopefully in each lifetime we make some progress. So the whole Japji is integrated, and it's the soul of the song. Japji. This is the chant of the being, of the soul. It's Ji here is not a respectful or a revering adjective to the Jap, but it's a command to the being, to the soul, to jap, because through the chant, the miracle, the transformation will happen. That will take you to Sachkhand. Now back to Pauri 29, which is so integrally connected to Pauri 28. So let's refer back to it, and the two together, in my mind, really lay out some of the very specific and important pillars of Sikhi. The principles, paradigms of Sikhi are totally clarified in terms of a very specific path that existed at the time, which was the path of the yogis. The yogis, as we know, yoga means union. So in order to attain union, in order to become united with the super soul, with the creator, they would relinquish everything, leave the world, go to the mountain and do tap. And so this is a dialogue between Guru Nanak Sahib and the yogis. And in Pauri 28, I have to refer back to it because there is a progression. If you remember, those of us who were here when we explored this, Guru Sahib said, Munda Santok Saram Pat Choli. So let your earrings be, the big hoops that the yogis wear, be that of contentment. If someone can write this down for me, that would be great, because this is the progression. Contentment. Munda Santok Saram Pacholi. Now, contentment doesn't mean sit back and do nothing. Uddam, hard work. Hard work is a core Sikh ethic. Kaal khaye kich hathon de, Nanak rah pachane se. So hard work not just in this world, but hard work on your spiritual path as well. We have to do, it's not an easy path. It's akhan okha sacha now. Everything else compared to doing the Naam is easier, no matter how hard your profession is, how hard you have to work to attain those things. But to start out and sustain yourself in that practice, day after day, year after year, consistently, persistently, it's not easy, because the mind will find a bazillion reasons not to do this. So Saram, Uddam, so Santog, Uddam, Saram Pacholi, Dhyan, meditation, concentration, intention of attaining that. Dhyan, Munda Santok, Saram Pacholi, Dhyan ki kare vibhut, Khintha Kal Kwari Kaya. So the patched coat of purity. Khintha Kal Kwari Kaya, Jugat, skillfulness, Jugat, Danda Partit, Anubhav, experience. So then it brings us to, this is how you conquer the mind, Manjite Jagjit. And then in the next Pauri, he continues this dialogue with the yogis and says, you have this feast after your worship, which is, you are all given this food for all the perseverance that you've gone through, and it was called churna. It was distributed, right? It was kind of like a prasad. That satisfied your body, that you had put through all these penances, that you had heaped upon yourself because you thought that was the way, and you got that. He says, instead of that, here, let me simplify things for you a little bit. Pugat Gyan. Let your food be that of Gyan. Now, what is Gyan? Gyan is not acquired through books. Gyan is not acquired even through Vichaar. Gyan is not acquired through attaining degrees. Gyan is not acquired through anything but Anubhav, experience. This is experiential Gyan. After we read Gurbani over and, there is many times, those of you who know me always, and Virji is here, he does this way better than I would ever be able to do, but opening a random shabad and translating it, right? Or not really translating it, but offering a commentary based on one's own, tuch buddhi, so to speak. How does that happen? The Bani reveals itself. Because when you read the Bani over and over again, the sound current, the vibration, when it connects with your being, blossoms and it reveals itself. Yes, it will come with studying as well. But that Gyan that the Guru is talking about is something you work towards. ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਕਾਲਨਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ. That Gyan, that is beyond the intellect, that is beyond the brain. That Gyan, that is not just food for your body, like the churna, like what you get as prasad afterwards. That Gyan will nurture your soul. That Gyan will fulfill you beyond anything you've ever partaken of. So the Guru is saying, make that your churna. That is your pugat. Pugat Gyan, Daya Pandaran. And then there was this person that would distribute the churna, right? So how do you distribute? Who is going to be the distributor? What is going to help you distribute this Gyan that you have, right? And when are you ready to distribute it? That's another question. What you need to be able to share this Gyan is compassion, is daya, is kindness. This is a world of competitiveness where nobody wants to help another person rise to the top, because that's the pinnacle that you've achieved with your hard work, and it's nice to look down and see who all you've left behind. But no, when you have daya, when you have compassion, when you want to rally everyone around, when you have sarbatta pala in your heart and in your mind, when you have that empathy, when you see yourself in others, then you want to uplift everyone. Then you want to share that, hey, you can do this. Come along, this is a great experience. Let me tell you how to get there. If you know something, then share it. If you've achieved something, then help others to achieve it. It's not enough to come here and talk and say, oh wow, this is great. You have to walk that talk. Truly be an enabler in terms of uplifting with the Gyan that you have been blessed with. Bhugat Gyan, Daya. That is a pillar of Sikhi. Tal, Taram, Daya Ka Poot, Dharam, the righteousness of this world, is the product of daya. If you don't have daya in your heart, you are not alive. If you don't have compassion, if you don't have empathy, there is so much work to be done. Because daya is a trait of the divine. The merciful one, the kind one, the benefactor, who doesn't take your gun to heart, who blesses you regardless. So, Pugat Gyan, Daya Pandaran, Kat Vaje Nath. So, another ceremonial thing that the yogis would do is, when it was time to serve food or churna, whatever it was, there was a thing that they carried around their neck that they clanked. And that nad would alert everyone that, all right, let's gather. So the Guru says that the naad that you're going to hear is the naad that dwells in every heart. This is the naad that is all pervasive. This is the naad that connects everyone. This is the naad that is the sound manifestation of the creative force. This is the naad that when you are aligned with it, your entire experience on this planet will become harmonious and fearless and nirbhav and nirvair. This is that naad. This is the Anhat Shabad. This is the naad that beats in every heart. That is what you want to hear. Oh, wonderful yogis, don't be content with this little tadli that goes clang. That's not the naad. That's not the naad that I'm here to awaken you to. I'm not just here to have you feed a few morsels of churna or have somebody distribute it like little morsels. I'm not here to throw little morsels your way. I'm here for you to experience the big feast of Naam, the endless abundance of Naam. And you will get this through all those things that he has described before. By being content, by being pure, by hard work, not just in, you cannot be just sitting down and, going for with a begging bowl to people, could you just fill this up? No, work hard. But work righteously, work honestly, don't take somebody else's haq. And then bring that hard work to your spiritual practice. All of these things will stack up and make you a complete being that I want you to become. This is Guru Nanak's message in this. Pugat Gyan Daya Pandaran Kat Kat Vajena. And then feel that naad. That is how you will see yourself in everyone. It's a platitude when you see God in everyone. How do you see God in everyone? I don't see God in everyone. I see God in everyone when I'm empathetic to them. When I can walk in their shoes, when I can feel their pain, when I can reach out and help them. That's when I see God in everyone. When I can be compassionate and kind to people I don't like and who I feel have wronged me. Because God doesn't keep those kind of accounts. We keep, our soul does, our mind does. And that's how we get justice done. Yogi Bhajan has a line that says, God is merciful and very kind, but Mother Nature has its laws. This mama spanks. But God is very kind. And so be kind, be merciful, be helpful, be compassionate. Awaken that compassion in you. You have it. You have it towards your children. Just widen that circle of love and that circle of influence. If you are blessed enough to have followed this amazing path and have awakened to Gyan and compassion. Bhugat Gyan Daya Pandaran Kat Kat Vaje Nath Aap Nath Nathi Sab Jaki Riddh Siddh Avrasad. So you have this chieftain who's the Nath, right? He's the big chief. He's the big honcho of the yogis, right? And what he has done is, there are the hoops, the nose rings that women wear. They were actually a symbol of almost like being pulled, being stringed along by a chief. And this was the chief that owned all these people and manipulated them and governed them, so to speak. Aap Nath. So the Guru says, you may have so many chiefs. I don't care who your chief is. I have just one Nath. Oh, Aap. Akal Purakh Aap is my Nath. Aap Nath, Nathi Sab Jaki. And everyone is under that Creator's control. I don't recognize any chieftains that you may crown or you may call big chieftains. I am not afraid of them. I'm not under their control. I don't care about them. Just as I don't care about your little tadlis and the little churnas you distribute, that's not my way, buddy. I have only one force that I'm answerable to, and that is Akal Purakh. Aap Nath, Nathi Sab Jaki, we are all under that control. Riddh Siddh Avrasad. Okay, you guys have done so much penance and you've done so much of denying, and you have all these Riddhi Siddhis. You can make yourself weightless, you can hold your breath for a whole month, you can stay hungry for 6 months, you can make things happen, you have Vak Siddhi. I'm not impressed. I don't care. These Riddhi Siddhis that you've attained, they are very early steps in the spiritual journey. And frankly, I don't care. I don't care about your riddhi siddhis. Aap nath nathi sabjaki riddh siddh avrasad. This belongs to another realm. This is a different kind of ras that you have. This is not my ras. This is not my way. I do not give importance to the fact that you can hang yourself upside down and go without food for 90 days. Sorry, I'm not impressed. I want to see who you are. I want to see the real light in you. The light of compassion. I want you to be able to hear the naad in everyone, not run away from everyone into a jungle and then send your missionaries to find out how things are happening in the world. That's not what I'm here for. Aap nath nathi sab jaki riddh siddh avrasad sanjog vijog doe कार चलावे. Lekhe ave paak. You carry out your business in your ways, but I carry out my business according to, it's not I carry out my business, Akal Purukh carries out the business through the comings and goings. Sanjog is milap, bringing together. Vijog is separation. So the whole system is that of coming together and falling apart, being and disintegrating, rising like bubbles and going back into water. The bubbles we can see, they're so short-lived, but we think we have a very long life, but really we're like a bubble. We are here today and then it'll burst. And the bigger the ego, the bigger the burst. So, Sanjog Vijog, who is doing this car, this business? Who is controlling this? One creator who is responsible for the unions and for the separations. Sanjog Vijog, doe car chalave. And how is that business carried out? Lekhe ave paak. Whatever you have done, whatever is writ by your own doings, that will be your share. That is what you shall receive, because that is the law. Jo main kiya, so main paya. That is the law. As you sow, so shall you reap. That is the law. You will come and go. That is also the law. People will come in your life, seasons will come, everything. The flowers will blossom, the fall will come, the winter will cover the land with snow. The spring will come back. It's a cycle. It'll continue. Sanjog Vijog, it'll continue. And what you shall receive is according to what you have sown. If you did not take care of that garden and the weeds came up and overtook the roses, then you will not have the fragrance. So be mindful. Be mindful of how you live your life, how you let those thoughts become actions and sanskars, and then your karma, and then your destiny. This is how it starts. Be mindful of what you do. Sanjog Vijog doe car chalave lekhe have paak. Ades to say ades, is that the ades to say? Okay. Ades to say ades, ad anil, anad anahad, jug jug eko ways. And then he says, that is the power to whom I bow. Ades to say ades, usnu mein ades hai. I bow before that power. Ades to say ades. Who? And then he defines with whom, in front of who I bow my head. Ad, who was there from the beginning. Anil, who's pure. Anad, who has no limit. Ad, Anil, Anad, Anat, Jug Jug Ek always. Forever and anon, that was the light that shined. Forever and anon, that was there, that pervaded this entire universe, that is the creator. So, oh my friend, I know your ways. I see how you practice. But this is the way that I have come to share. And these are the values, the virtues, the principles. This is the journey that you have to take if you have to reach Sachkhand. So this is Guru Nanak Sahib's message. Now, I've tried to be very succinct about it. Each word has worlds of meaning. Gyan lalo, Pandaran lalo, Ghat lalo, Naad lalo. I mean, you can contemplate and explore it and let it resound inside you. You know, Bani, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at times whether you understand it or not. It has its own vibration, its own current, its own force. Understanding is of the intellect. Experience is Anubhav. Experience the Naad, experience the chanting. Yes, it's good to know what it means. Vichaar has its place. But when that Bani clashes with your inner being, it's like that drum that keeps beating, right? And with the right pauses. What is music? But the note and the pause, right? That right understanding that you will get it. Yes, go to the translations, go to study. But more than that, experience it. Experience the Bani. Experience the Naad. Repeat it. How do you repeat it? By you Nitnem. What is Nitnem? Everyday's discipline. Nit, everyday, name, your discipline of every day. Reading the Japji every day. Absorbing it. Letting it become part of your being. And one day, it will reveal itself. Suddenly you say, oh my gosh, that's what the Guru means? So this is what happens. This is not an intellectual pursuit. This is not a pursuit of knowledge of the world. This is a pursuit of Gyan Anjan Gurdiya. That Gyan, Anjan. Anjan is surma, you know, like to put an eyeliner, right? That's surma. Gyan Anjan Gurdiya, Agyan Andher Binas. The darkness has dispelled. This is the Gyan that destroys fear. And it comes from that sound vibration, that anhat, that shabad. And the roadmap is so clear. And when you reach the destination, it's good to keep reminding yourself that those are the paradigms, but you've reached. It will deliver, it shall deliver. The thing is, you have to practice to follow it. And sometimes it takes lifetime, and sometimes it takes a moment. The nadar, the blessing, can transform in a second. Ajamal ko antkal mein Narayan Sudha, in a second. But try to be a good recipient or ready for that blessing. The blessing is always there. It's being showered. Be ready to receive it. And these two pauris, to my mind, beautifully sum up very succinctly. You can go deeper in each word if you like, each tuk if you like. Make that your own exploration. This is just to, stimulate your curiosity. This little commentary of what little I've understood. But read the two pauris next time when you read them, tomorrow morning. Just say, Pugat Gyan. Okay, I have to get away from the worldly knowledge and attain that knowledge through experience. I have to become compassionate. What can I do that is good? How can I let go of my competitiveness and become collaborative? There was this recently, Aaron Burnett on CNN did an interview of Bill Clinton. Anyone heard it? It's a really good interview. Bill Clinton has to be, one of the smartest men you've ever heard. I think he was the best president we've had. Intellectually, the brightest. He said that the world needs not exclusionism. We need to be inclusive. We don't need competition. We need to be collaborative. And that is how we will succeed. That is how we will make big strides in anything, whether it's economic progress or getting rid of poverty or a clean environment. We cannot be fighting each other. We have to be collaborative. And you cannot be collaborative if you're totally competitive. There's some beautiful lessons here that we need to apply to our own life. And not just do it mechanically. And we forget, oh, was I doing Sunniye Tiji Pauri or Chauthi Pauri? I get all mixed up. Right? No, I'm just saying that you get all caught up in the,
Yeah, earlier you were saying that it doesn't matter whether you understand or not.
No.
It's just the sound and the pauses that matter.
I was making a point, which, no. Viji, I'm making a point here. The point I'm making is that Bani has its own power and its own sound vibration, and even if you don't understand it, don't get discouraged. Keep repeating it. It's of course it's beautiful to understand it. I'm not negating understanding. I'm just saying that understanding is of the intellect. Go beyond that.
Go beyond that.
Go beyond. Yeah. Don't negate that. No.
But if you don't understand the words at all, then it's like, listening to
anything. No.
Or anything.
Yeah, you have to understand, but it's beyond understanding. I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly.
Don't just get lost in the intellectual understanding.
Yeah.
Go beyond that.
Yeah.
But if you don't understand,
you have to understand. Yeah.
Then you won't get that.
But I also, and this is experiential, where Bani reveals itself.
Only if you understand at least the words.
Yeah, it does.
If you don't understand the language, then it will not reveal itself to you.
Then you will have
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
It becomes a
then you will have the desire to go seek it. Just Google, type, right? Translations.
But unless you understand it, you won't have desire.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is experience the vibration. Experience the vibration.
Question on the,
It's how you perceive it, you understand it. The final goal, this is what I kind of heard, the believer who knows about Satguru and he wants to have a Satguru's cho, he will still see, I want to listen to Bani, I don't understand anything, I want to recite it, and he will get that cho of Satguru. And then of course the Bani reveal.
I didn't understand Japji Sahib until you gave me this gift of exploring it, right?
Yeah, but you understood some of the language. If you were Chinese, you didn't know any English or Punjabi.
And then,
Japji, would you get it?
Okay, so what listening to the vibration, this is my belief, will create that curiosity of learning it. I think the Bani has its magic. Of course, you'll have to understand eventually. My only contention is this, that intellectual understanding is highly overrated.
Sure.
Experience,
The Guru himself
yes.
says,
yeah, true. So you have to do the Vichaar. But it's the... No, I'm not. Vijay, I was making a point, right? I don't mean it literally. I meant that don't get too hung up on Kiminu, but do your practice. Even if you don't understand, do your practice.
So I think the other one more comment. So maybe if you don't understand, I think what counts it is if that's
understanding is important.
Yeah,
And if
current effect, I think is valid. If from where you are listening, from whom you are listening, that person plays the part too. I mean, if you just pay attention to the sound current, then it becomes more of from where it's coming.
Listen to your own self. There's nothing more important than listening to the sound that you are creating. Yeah. You had a question.
So as is writ will pass, the Sikh. Can you elaborate more on Lekhe part?
So as I can simply put it, as you sow, so shall you reap. There is Nadar, which is beyond anything, beyond description, beyond understanding, beyond earning. Nadar is bakshish, right? But then there is what you do. Jo main kiya, whatever I have done, I have received. Dosh na dijiye avarjana. Don't blame anyone. Don't blame, what am I receiving? Why me? Why am I getting this disease? Why am I doing this? Why am I gaining weight? I don't exercise. I'm stuffing my mouth every day, right? Why? So hold yourself responsible, be mindful of your thoughts, actions, be accountable to yourself. Because you will, the dividend you receive will be in proportion to what you've invested. Now, nadar ho jaye, anything can happen. Bakshish is there, beyond anything. Gur Prasad. A very, very important pillar of Sikhi is Gur Prasad. No matter what else you do, you may not reach anywhere without Gur Prasad. All these things are wonderful. Guna ka vove vasla, right? Bin gun pagat na hoy. You have to cultivate virtues. You have to try to be good. You have to understand what is good and bad. And Vivek, Buddhi, gets you that Gyan, gets you to the understanding of what's right or wrong. Otherwise, कई बारी पता ही नहीं लगता. We are always getting caught up in this rut of indecisiveness. We don't know. Shall we do this? Shall we do that? I don't know. In this craziness in the mind is happening.
So let's go to the pedestrian explanation of Lekhya Van Pag. के लिखे होया जो करना कर लो.
Well,
while you're saying it's a dynamic process.
Yes.
जितना तुसी करी जांदे हो, उतना तुसी कमाई जांदे हो.
yes, and also, it is also happening right now. It's not just, it is your destiny, whatever that you came with. It is your DNA. But Betu is a neurologist. She will tell you that there is plasticity in the brain. You will create new neurons and you will light up new pathways when you practice and you try to keep on doing the same thing, even at an older age. Your brain will not lose its cells if you continue to grow and expand and work that muscle. Did I answer that?
You're again telling me to listen to my wife. I understand.
Paul, to see you had a question.
Just kind of going back to your earlier part of your changing. That's okay. Does it help you in any way? It does. Okay, well, that's because we don't hear it. Okay. No, I think because the context in which you're saying to listen the Babaji's Bani, even though you may not understand all of it, one way of thinking is more like a river going through the desert. When it is flowing, like the water flows, same thing on the Babaji's Bani is flowing consistently, it will have its effect. It will do germination.
Thank you so much.
It will feed the plants and animals.
Thank you for explaining that in such a poetic way. So I was not trying to undermine or negate.
One second. Let the thoughts, when they're coming, let them finish.
Yes.
This way, otherwise it could break up.
Yes, but that's beautifully put.
That's one way of looking at it. Same thing. When you may not understand all of it, go for the low-hanging fruits. Out of 10 minutes listening, even if you get one or two, slowly with time you'll get more and more and more. Because what we're trying to grasp is something too immense and too large for our little buddhi.
Yeah.
So we cannot and should not expect instantly like this. But slowly, this life or future lives, God willing, He will take us. If the desire is to go back home, He is kind, merciful and loving. He will reach us wherever He wants to take. So we can only request and beg. God, I don't know where I have to go, but I know that you are kind, loving and merciful. Don't look at my deeds. I have none to begin with. You know what you got to do. Help us all.
Thank you. So Bhai Singh, perhaps the most authoritative figure in Gurbani commentary, when he starts out explaining the Mool Mantar, he says that I'm up against a huge predicament. I'm up against this huge problem that I am trying to put into words that which is purely experiential. First of all, I have a very finite understanding. I have this very limited intellect, limited brain. And I'm talking about the infinite. I mean, look at the impossible task I've given myself. So that's where all of us are. And Pai Veer Singh was a giant amongst humans, a spiritual giant, right? And he said that. So yes, absolutely right, that our buddhi is so little.
I know you always say that. I mean, it's just that in everyday thought, I just sometimes I do read Gurbani, but I have a question, and I think everybody has a question. Everybody has a question mark in their life. Everybody. What I'm saying is that I read Gurbani. I don't read Guru Granth Sahib, but I read Bhai Sahib Singh's books. One by one, on a daily basis. But I still like a question. I have a very nagging question. That there's so much praise of God in every language, and every religion. That God is very kind, very merciful. God is so kind, so merciful. Why so much pain
Right.
and torture in this world?
Right.
Where is the God? Why the children are born with incurable disease?
Very tough question.
Why there is tsunami? Why there is so much torture? Why there is war? Why is there so much, restlessness? I mean, what? I mean, there are so many good people are here. Why? That I cannot get answer, but I still keep on reading and I, try to console myself. I
Very
try to reach where Guru reaches.
universal question and very tough one, very difficult to answer. Don't even know if there is an answer, but Gurbani tells us that God is kind and merciful. And I like Yogi Bhajan's quote that I quoted earlier, that God is forever merciful, but Mother Nature upholds its laws and spanks. This mama spanks. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't have an answer. Is it karam? Is it, who knows? I'm afraid to even articulate anything.
I know. And
It's
somebody, because I put the question to a lot of my friends, I mean, I have friends with different religions, and one of the friend from a Hindu religion, she says, well, the bad things happen because like a parent or like a father, like scolds you, like when you do something. I mean, when we were growing up, they might give you, slap. Nowadays, children call the police. But I'm saying is, and then I told her, I said, if God is like a father, then what is the difference
So
between
let me
Atma
try
and
to
Paramatma?
let me
It's
try
totally
to
Paramatma.
answer it in another way. And honestly, this is a very tough question, and I'm no authority on this subject at all. But the Sikhi principle is na kich janme na kich mare. Nothing is born and nothing dies. Another Sikhi principle is sukh dukh is man ki birtha. Tujhi aage sare. The very fact that we are born, right? We will experience pain. Happiness, pain are two sides of the same coin. Sometimes there will be more pain. Who knows? Maybe we've earned it. I don't know. I'm afraid to say. I don't want to say that people who are suffering have earned it. I don't want to be in that position of judging their past or their karma. So I'm saying I am acknowledging that this is a very tough question. All that I can say is that what Gurbani says, right? I can only answer you with Gurbani that what seems like a horrible devastation, catastrophic event, right, to us, when you think in the larger terms of Nakich Janme, Nakich Mare, it all comes and goes, it ebbs and flows. This is all play. This is just, and I'm here to learn from every situation, and nothing that I cannot bear is ever put on me by this merciful God. And whatever situation I'm up against, there's always that light. There's always that opportunity somewhere. And maybe that's not even true. Maybe some people don't have an opportunity. They don't. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful.
Elaborate kar de.
So, do we have time? Dukh daru sukh rog pe. I'll give you an example. So I know someone who was recently divorced. His wife took the children away, and he lost all his parental rights because he was not a very responsible husband or father in terms of keeping a job constantly or whatever. So she literally lives across the street from him and has succeeded in telling the children what a horrible dad he was, to where the children don't want to acknowledge him. So this person, who was a regular Joe, just everyday life living, he has so dedicated himself to seva. He's always seen in the Gurdwara doing some seva or the other. After the after the wife leaving him, he chakod amrit, started doing his banis, started finding some solace in the Guru's lap, in the Guru's house. And I met him recently and I asked how's it going, and there was one phrase that came out of his mouth, Shukar hai. I'm like, wow.
What did you say?
He said Shukar hai. So कितना वड्डा दुख है for your children to be taken away from you, for you to have, and you may have done enough bad stuff for the wife to have done that or not, I don't know. But the point is that you know that void that is created? That void that is created when something bad happens, you have to fill it with something. And very often we turn to God to fill that for us.
Maybe there's a topic for the next time. मेरे हुक्म नहीं कर, हुक्म है जेडे 400 बंदे मारे गए. साथी दी इंटेलेक्ट नहीं समझने कि मेरे की खेल.
Yeah, very tough questions, hard to answer.
400 बंदे क्यों मारे गए? मरना तो सारे ने. रब ने हुन क्यों चूज किया मारन? साडे ते जेडे 5 सेंस ने ओदे ते कोई समझ आना नहीं.
And then something like tsunami.
नहीं बड़ो सुनामी भी होगी ना, मतलब 500 बंदे मारे गए, 5000 ਲੱਖ ਬੰਦਾ ਮਾਰੇ ਗਏ, ਮਾਰੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ. ਹੁਣ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਮਾਰੇ ਨੇ, ਕਿਉਂ ਖੇਡਾਂ ਖੇਡੀਆਂ? ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਫਸੋਸ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਨ ਅ ਸੈਂਸ ਹੱਕ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੰਦਾ. ਮੈਂ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਹੱਥ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ. ਮਤਲਬ ਨਹੀਂ, all of us think about the same.
We all have that. Yeah.
If we are just like a little kiddie trying to challenge the Almighty's will in a sense, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਿਰ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਦੇ ਨੇ.
So Gurbani has another beautiful line, another nugget. Vaho vaho ka vada tamasha.
Wait for him to go.
Vaho vaho ka vada tamasha.
ਉਹ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਪਾਣਾ ਮੰਨਣਾ.
Right.
No, that's okay. But Guru Nanak Sahib and the Babar, he said, "Itri maar bhi Guru Nanak."
Thank you, Dashna. Anyway, thank you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.